Hello, what is going on, guys? HakiGuy1 here. Welcome to my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. So, Spider-Man Far From Home is directed by Jon Watts and stars Tom Holland, Samuel Jackson, Zendaya, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jon Favreau, and Marisa Tomei. So, the story is about Peter Parker, who ends up going on this school trip for the summer in Europe, has to go on a mission while being there with, I was given by Nick Fury, with Mysterio, who ends up being like this manipulative villain, obviously, and him actually is just projecting himself, so Spider-Man finds out he has to destroy him. It's basically the story. So the story is really good. I like how this is a sequel to Endgame, and kinda as it does take place after it, and it just works very well as a sequel to Homecoming, as it does. Let's do like a whole road trip, which I really like that, as it's a different setting from. I mean, usually it's in New York since that's where Spider-Man's from, but they do something different for a Spider-Man movie by having him go on a road trip to Europe, which I really like how they do that. And this story, you know, how he's trying to get with MJ is really well done, and I really like how it ends up doing that, and I think it's perfect for this movie. The plot structure is pretty simple. I mean, it's first act preparing for the trip and going on the plane. Second act just the trip with all of Mysterio showing up first, and his illusions, stuff like that, and then in the third act, basically, when Mysterio's whole plan comes together, and they have to put the plan to stop him, and Happy Hogan come out. That's a pretty simple structure, and I think that's really good for this movie. They just do something simple, well, as it does kind of work for this movie, and it's pretty well done. As for the plot itself, both the second and third acts are really great. The first act is pretty good for the most part, but I'll get to the more negative part about that act later. But the plot is done as well as just really good, and as well as pacing. This movie for the most part is fine, as it is pretty well connected with each other and doesn't really feel that much like filler, except for a few things. So for the most part, it's really well done. The action scenes are really great. Like, they do feel a bit different, as they're all just illusions at first, and it's really creative how they do that. How it's illusions, and it's really well done. And then the climax especially is really great, and how Peter has to get away from his illusions, and it's a really well thought out plan, as he does end up getting through his illusions, and I'm gonna fight him. And I really like how that works. It's really well done how the climax is, and it's perfect. Peter's character is so well done in this movie, and very well developed for his character. I mean he does develop very well, as he does want to be more of living a normal life, living Spider-Man, and wanting to take a break from it. It does have new characters in the original. He really wanted to be Spider-Man, and then this one, and I really like how they do that, and make him feel a bit more realistic to him. And then there's as well the development, and end up wanting to be Spider-Man by the end, just to stop him from Mysterio. It's pretty well done for the most part, as he does realize he makes all these mistakes and then tries to make up for it. And the way his character is pretty smart, as he does come out with a whole plan and to stop him that actually works, because it's really smart how he does it. MJ was really great in this movie. I really like how they made her the love interest, as it does pretty well with their development. and the love story in general is just really well written, as it does end up coming together in the end, and then just realizing that he's Spider-Man and revealing everything to her. And I think that is really well developed, actually, as a love story. And then it takes a while for them to accept each other, and I really like how they do that, as it does feel like they like each other, making a pretty good love story. And then MJ, the character, as well, just really works. Like I said, she's just that kind of nerd. I mean, she wasn't the best in the original, but I think they definitely did much better with her here. As they did, it developed her character a little more in this, and I to make her more of a main focus. Nick Fury was really good in this movie, though. Oh, they did reveal something really stupid about his character in the end. And I won't spoil it for the end credits scene. I did think that was really stupid that they did. But either way, Nick Fury's character, and without any spoilers, what I just mentioned, I thought for the most part it was really good. Good for how he is he has kind of just being more of a leader of Sheila and just being really serious with Spider-Man. I really like how they do that. And actually works out pretty well for the most part, and his character is just really well written. Happy Hogan was pretty good, as he does kind of take on the role that Tony Stark had before this, like of the father figure to Peter, which I kind of like that. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would work that much for Happy, but I guess this is a new character for him, so it does kind of work for this new character that they made him. And it's really well done for how Happy is in this movie, and I really like how they make him the father figure after Tony dies, and it actually works as that, as he does, as kind of motivates Spider-Man before the climax, and I really like how they do that, and as it really works for this movie, and it's really well done. Mysterio's a really great villain for this. He's definitely one of the MCU's best, as he's done very well, as he is this manipulative villain, and it was definitely written very well as a manipulative villain, and as he does kind of manipulate Peter into thinking everything is real, and he's actually a really nice guy, and then ends up getting to eat his glasses, which makes him really intimidating, what he is, and it's just all of his illusions thing, just make him even more intimidating when everything's fake. And especially when he tricks Peter, is what makes him really intimidating, and his motivation for doing it is really good. And it's really well done for how he is as a villain. The acting is really great, as Tom Holland once again does feel like Spider-Man, as he does deliver his lines very well. And actually seemed like he likes it. And as well as there's Samuel Jackson, as always, who's really great in this movie. And then there's Zendaya, and MJ is really great, as she does feel like MJ, the way she delivers her lines, it definitely seems like she's trying in it, and just doing really good. As well as Jake Gyllenhaal for sure was fantastic in this movie. He just works really well as Mysterio. As the way he delivered out the lines made him feel like a villain. And then even when he was acting nice in Mysterio, the way he delivers it actually kind of helps kind of has with the character, and it's really well done for how well he's acted in this movie. It's just perfect for how he does it. And Jon Favreau does really great as Happy Hogan, as he does deliver the lines very well, and actually feels like the character, not just himself, with how well done he is with his acting, and I really like that. And the cinematography is really great in this movie. The camera angles that they use just work really great for the shots. Especially when he's swinging, they use the perfect camera shot for that. As well as the coloring is just fine for this. This has it, as you can actually see what's going on. It's perfect coloring for it. The visual effects are just really good. Like whenever Mysterio uses his powers, it looks really great and really convincing. And as well as whenever like Spider-Man is swinging through the air, and it actually looks pretty convincing and really well done. And with the visuals, as they did put the backgrounds in afterwards, it looks pretty convincing for the most part. The soundtrack in this movie is really great, and whenever they use it, it really fits the moments for it. And they're all really great songs that perfectly fits the moments for the film. And so it's a really great soundtrack. With that said, I do have a few negatives. Like, the first act of the movie was just not very well paced, honestly. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's a fine act, but just the way it's paced just isn't very well, as there are a few filler scenes in it, and it just feels kind of like a mess, like some of those scenes like where Spider-Man's being featured, and I don't really feel like they really need to be in there. Or as it did kind of mess with the pacing a bit, as it did feel wrong, but other than that, the pacing was fine. And I'm not really too big of a fan of Ned's relationship in this movie, as well as Happy and Aunt May's relationship. Just doesn't really make any sense. Those things. I mean, Happy and Aunt May, luckily, I can sort of give it a pass, because it's not really a major thing in the movie. As it doesn't really need to be. But Ned's relationship, on the other hand, is kind of big, and I'm not really a fan of it. And there's really nothing to it other than they both kind of just trying to put a bunch of jokes, as that's basically both their characters, and there's really nothing else to it. And the humor in this movie is just basically just really bad. It's really just mostly copy and paste the jokes from the original. It just does not work at all. And it's just really unfunny. There isn't really one that I really laughed at, because they just don't really hit very much. But other than that, I don't really have any other negatives. So overall, Spider-Man Far From Home is a great movie, the second best MCU movie of the year, only behind Endgame, and it's even better than Homecoming. So I'm gonna give Spider-Man Far From Home an 8 out of 10. That was my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. What are your thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home? Tell me in the comments below. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.